Welcome to the day after podcast of K-On! Haley, how would you pitch K-On! To somebody?
Do you like animes about girls chilling around in high school?
Do you hate cynicism?
Do you love everything that is pure and fluffy in the world?
Do you like gamers if it didn't give up on its premise halfway through? Let's be fair, that's being generous, like an eighth of the way through. Welcome to K-On!, a very cute 2009, what is this called, a slice of life anime? Is it?
Yeah, definitely slice of life is how I would describe this.
It's not quite coming of age, but I don't know, I think one day I came across the fact that K-On! Exists, and I'm like, I must have been coming off something really dark and brooding, because I said, I need this, give it to me now.
Yeah, so K-On! Is what made me think you like cute little moe girls, and it turns out that you don't like moe girls just when they're moe girls. Like, you like it when they do stuff and when they have passions.
You see, if you shout out to our Valentine's Day episode where we rank anime wives.
And I gave you a bunch of moe girls and you all fucking shat on them the whole time.
That's to be later explained, but I used the phrase, oh, it looks like they've got interests, and they came out really wrong, like out of context. But I was deep into watching K-On!, which is, it's so easy. We talk on and off about how easy it is to shit on middle school and high school girls.
Yeah.
For not liking stuff.
Well, for liking stuff, and then that becomes the new thing to fucking hate.
To hate that they like stuff? Oh my god. There's no... This is the only anime I think I've ever seen without any cynicism to it. It's... So... The school they're at, which, by the way, it took us 36 episodes to find out it's an all-girls high school.
Yeah, even though we haven't seen a guy besides teachers.
We had suspicions, but there are no male characters. And they have, club. It's a club anime, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can join, different clubs. And Yui, we'll talk about in a second, happens to stumble across this music club where they get together in a band, they play instruments, they kind of relax. And that's the vibe you're getting for the show for the whole 36 episodes.
Yeah, it's this K-On! Is literally a bunch of girls who have a club and hang out. And they do things, and they're totally normal-ass high school girls.
And
who happen to play music.
And maybe chalk it up to, like, the horror movie Western problem. The horror movie country music problem, where I didn't dislike the genre. I just saw the bad ones first. Yeah,
and, slice of life is what it is. Like, things like Clannad and those kind of things come to mind. I kind of dig slice of life anime. I don't like... things can get, like, too gritty or too real too often in anime. Like, there's always giant robots or titans that need fighting. Or sometimes it's fun to just dive into a high school and watch kids get up to their shenanigans.
I enjoyed nailing the tone. Thank you so fucking much. I just needed 36 episodes of cute.
I mentioned to John, trying to compare this of a similar anime where guys just all get together and hang out. Tone-wise, though the subject matter is a little different, tone-wise, this is a good double for Iran High School Host Club.
And I think that let's put a darker anime in front of those two, but let's get to Ouran eventually. This has made me want to watch Ouran now that I know that Ouran's not going to be the cynical...
It's not cynical at all, but anyway, this isn't about Ouran.
No, it's not.
But that's kind of the vibe you get. So if you've seen Ouran and you like that, and you but for some reason haven't seen K-On! It yet, that's kind of the vibe you're gonna get. That's kind of the tone ride you're on.
This was extremely, extremely popular a decade ago. It was adapted from a manga, which is a little more ecchi than the anime. It actually got toned down, which I like. I'll have to actually read the manga to figure it out.
Yeah, but we were told anyway that it was more ecchi.
I do like,
one thing, before we get too far
go for it.
One thing I like, and without mentioning other YouTubers who have noticed this thing, when they start off with this light music club, they're not very good. Yui's never even touched a guitar before. They don't really know what they're doing, and they don't have a lot of confidence in themselves. But the OPs and EDs show them like if they were a highly polished band or rock group.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really refreshing to see.
Yeah.
Let's sing もっともっともっと声高く唇に希望歌ずさえて
Yui is a young girl who is, God, it seems like 30.
We can't even talk about Yui without giggling.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, Yui, you be the best person you can. Is a young girl who has started high school and would like to join a club. and she stumbles like in true anime fashion. You stumble across this room, and she's full of angst and like not like a bad angst, but like, oh my god, what if they don't like me?
And she's terrified about not having any interests. She's never joined a club before, and she's like, oh my gosh, I gotta do something before I'm done with my high school life.
If you have a young daughter or a young sister that looks up to you, please encourage them to do this fucking shit. It's so important.
If it's not dangerous or illegal, please develop interests.
The gang begins with Yui as the focus. I believe like later in the series, it's not quite as much about Yui being the narrative focal point.
Yeah, but that's just how it starts off.
And God bless her. There are times, especially in the really emotional final moments, where you're like, you did that, didn't you? I totally expect you to be doing that.
So Yui is what there's got to be something in Japanese for this trope, but Yui is what we dub a hot mess.
Adorable hot mess.
Absolutely adorable hot mess. She's very much marching to her own tune, constantly forgetting things, constantly tripping over things, completely held up by her younger sister, who's the responsible one.
Oh god, her sister just... While we're just on Yui, the relationship with her sister is fucking fabulous.
Yeah, it's kind of like creep. Like I worry about Yui having to take care of. I worry about Ui having to take care of Yui all the time, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, they really care about each other.
It's really fucking genuine, and there's just a scene where the teacher's like, "What are you hiding? Is it your guitar? Is it a bunch of candy? Is it the turtle from the light music club?"
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and you would totally do all of those things.
Oh my god, just fucking...
Yeah, she's just kind of balls off the walls, always tired, always hungry.
Makes the best Romeo and Juliet tree. By the way, there's a 2-episode stint where...
They put together a play of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, Jesus. She's joined by 3 people, one a little less hot mess. Mio is, I guess, they're all about the same age, yeah?
Yeah, they all are exactly the same age.
Mio's the token quiet girl who doesn't like scary shit.
Yeah, she's... And it's so easy to try to write these girls off into tropes, and because of their unique personalities, you end up kind of subverting yourself when you try to do that. So, like, Mio, you think would be the general, very quiet, bookish type, very smart. And you also find out she's fucking terrified of about everything.
And, oh my god.
She's very shy, hates public speaking, doesn't like talking to people, very shy and awkward, and yet she's probably musically the best player in the group.
At least for a long while.
Yeah.
She's a left-handed bassist, so, like, she'll be, like, cowering, like... The store sells left-handed basses. Oh my fucking god, what?
Oh my fucking god. And she's the one who has probably the most passion for music, but is most scared to show it.
God bless her. Just, she's one of the ones that not suffered, but she has a scene in the first season where she trips on stage and you get to see her panties.
Yeah.
And that was smash cut out of the anime to help drop this kind of like ecchi persona, because they're the little girls. Don't be weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're high school girls, so that's not that weird.
No,
but...
the weirdness aside, I'm glad. I'm worried about her and this fictional thing that happened. I want her to not be able to... go ahead.
And yet Mio sings all of the EDs, which are really, really soft. They're very, like, kind of more of a gritty...
quieter.
A heavier rock tone than the cute, fun, bubblegum, frilly thing of the OPs, which are sung by Yui.
The OPs are... Oh, that's right. I never noticed that.
Yeah, all the OPs are sung by Yui, and all the EDs are sung by Mio.
Mio takes over these duties. That is nice. Oh, God bless... What? How the hell she got to be friends with the squirrel?
Yeah, so there's the captain of the club, who is Ritsu, who's the drummer. And I think it's absolutely necessary to have those two together, because they need each other to function. In the same way that Yui needs Ui to function.
One of the much better... Ritsu, by the way, Japanese for squirrel, I guess, is...
Yeah, so if we call her the squirrel, that's what we're talking about.
She's the drummer and the kind of extrovert, and you get... One of the better episodes is the backstory of how those two met and became friends throughout school, and... Based on how much they kind of fake butt heads, like, they still love each other, but how are you friends?
Yeah, it's one of those that, like, they're so different personalities, but they're kind of like two halves of a puzzle, and it's kind of cute.
everybody, Mio's doing weird shit. Isn't it cool?
Ritsu is awesome because I've never seen the token sporty girl who isn't into sports.
That is very odd, and I found this, well...
Yes, Ritsu's a tomboy, she's loud, she's kind of, she's kind of like Yui in that she's very, she's very exuberant, very extroverted, and yet you see when she's on her own, she has these awesome little quiet moments of shyness and unconfidence in herself.
And she's really obsessed with actual British drummer for The Who, Keith Moon, which really speaks to like the passion of these people. It's not just slice of life high school, but music, but swimming, but track.
Yeah, it's true slice of life high school, and I can see where some people would argue that's going to be really, really boring. And I'm not gonna lie, there is parts of this anime that drag. It's totally the characters that save it, which is really, really nice. My favorite Ritsu episode is that the one episode where she tries all the different instruments.
Oh yeah, so whenever we start an anime, I gently peruse TV tropes, then I realize there are spoilers here. Let's leave. And I come back now at the end of the series.
Yeah.
They said people found her episode about her getting burnout from the drums unrealistic, but actually, that's actually one of the most realistic depictions in all of anime about how burnout works. You have one moment where you're like, oh god, I can't be doing the same thing every day, and then you go listen to Keith Moon and you remember why you wanted to be a drummer in the first place.
Yeah, it's really cute.
She has one more really well developed episode in one of the extras. We didn't watch almost any of the extra episodes, but during their winter, they all go and do 5 different things. And Ritsu's idea is she accidentally got a hold of one of Mio's work in progress lyrics.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a crush letter from a boy.
Yeah, she thought it was a love letter, and that's where you see this like beautiful kind of, oh my gosh, what am I gonna say? It's very cute to see shy Ritsu.
I really love the idea of flamboyant's not the right word, of a really extroverted, sporty female character who's worried she can't be feminine if she wants to be.
Yeah.
That was really nice. But
yeah,
go ahead.
And these girls, again, it's so easy to try to write them off into tropes. These girls are so genuine. Like I totally believe these are real people. They're very well written.
But by the way, this show slaughters the hell out of the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Considering that
there's no guys.
Okay, no, but there could have been literally as many scenes as you wanted of, oh, Ken is so dreamy or whatever. Like,
no, there's 0 guys.
There's not. That Ritsu scene, that's all of it.
Yeah.
That's 100%. That's really refreshing just to see women just be excited about what they want to do. Sorry.
Well, and that's this entire show.
Yeah, it is. Fucking... People would call Mugi not well developed, but...
Oh my god, I love Mugi.
But the thing is that if you have 4 characters shouting... It's like a relationship. You can't all be shouting. One of you has to take a back seat and be comfortable taking a back seat.
Yeah.
That's fucking Mugi.
And so Mugi is the kind of rich socialite.
What kind of?
Who steps down into the normal world just for a little while.
And it's not even, it could have been so, not pedantic, but it should have been so condescending to be like, oh, this is what people do when they get fast food. It's never from a place of anger. It's from a place of fascination.
Yeah, I would go ahead. Do you think it's fair to call Mugi the mom of the group? She's always making food, making tea.
Always making tea. Oh, God.
Always offering a solution. She bought Yui's guitar.
She friggin'...
Because her family owned the guitar shop that they were shopping at.
Yeah, and they fight... Oh, God, and...
Mugi plays keyboard, by the way.
Yeah, she's a great keyboardist. Like, everybody's a heavy drummer or a guitarist, or Yui jumping on stage. Mugi's like, I'm a keyboard.
Yeah, I'm a keyboard. She's she's kind of the straight man of the group.
You need a straight man.
And kind of the foundation that they stand on. But yeah, she's also she's also got some of the Yui weirdness. Like, she loves poor things.
There's a very, very sweet extra episode. In the same episode where Ritsu thinks she has a boy crush. Where Mugi's like... Well, they're at a McDonald's, and they're like, the fuck is that, Mugi?
Yeah.
Do you work at McDonald's?
Yeah, I wanted to see what working was like.
And there's such a genuine moment where she accidentally orders the wrong thing, and he's like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm doing so bad. Here, let me get you the orange juice that you wanted. And the boss is like, Mugi, you're doing great. And she gets this bright-eyed, oh. She loves going to hardware store. Oh my god.
Like, if you wanted somebody to believe in the purity of the world, that is Mugi.
It could have been written so much more poorly.
She's got fluffy hair.
She's got the fluffiest hair. And she's weirdly not, I don't want to say lesbian, but like there is that one moment that gets referenced in episode 5 and never touched again.
It's hinted at throughout. I bet in the manga it's kind of in your face about it, but
it's like, oh, the teacher's really nice.
yeah, she's kind of a low-key lesbian crush on their teacher.
The gang is rounded out by
the second year.
The second year, Azusa on her birth certificate. They call her Azunyan because apparently there's a gag about her looking like a cat.
Yeah, apparently she's a cat. Whatever.
I think even though she's the hardest hitting character development member in the last 4 or 5 episodes, it takes a long while getting used to it. Not getting used to is the wrong word. She's very undeveloped for a large portion of.
I disagree. I think she got. So Azusa is not in the first season. So throughout the first season, this band is just the 4.
She shows up in episode 6,
and then she shows up later. And I think I think it's really her. She comes from a long music background, and she's excited to join the Light Music Club. One, because her hero Mio is the bassist.
I forgot.
Mio is a fan club, by the way.
Well, it's nice. Yeah.
But anyway. And she has to get used to this fact that a lot of the time, they don't actually play any music. They're just, chilling out and drinking tea eating and doing random shit.
That was tough for her at first.
And it was really hard for her to get used to. And then she finds out that, like, having friends is way more important than constantly improving yourself musically. Like, music doesn't have any point unless it's fun.
There is a moment in the last episode that is unconsequential when they're taking pictures after graduation. One says, "Hey, can I take a picture with you? You guys are so much fun. Not cool or awesome?"
Yeah.
And that kind of reaffirms what they wanted the show to be about. It was less about living your dreams and more about just not taking things seriously, being passionate and that being okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Azusa, like, she definitely comes around to it, and, like, she's always... Tsundere is the wrong word, but she'll get, like, kind of angry at the group sometimes, and it's funny, again, because she's the younger one.
She's also the best one, like, musically gifted.
Yeah, well, she just comes from a background. I don't know if she has, like, more talent than Mio or Ritsu, but... yeah, and so... She constantly hangs out with Yui's younger sister and this other random person.
June, just to give her a 3-top.
Yeah, and so sometimes you have episodes that's just those 3, and it's like the younger kids doing thing. In the same way that you kind of have the 3 younger ponies from My Little Pony hanging out. That's kind of the vibe I got.
One day, maybe we'll get to that. Yeah, don't you love that they have, like, a support system? Like, they have a teacher that's, like, really into... helping.
Well, yeah, so the teacher used to be part of the Light Music Club, and she's like this kind of like big badass she was this big badass punk rocker when she was in high school, and now she's trying to be the nice straight career woman with her life together, and she doesn't have a boy, and she has to pretend that's okay.
And she doesn't get a boy to fix her.
No.
Like, she wants a boy, but she doesn't get one, and they go, "Ha, that's the end of your arc."
Yeah, it's
kids.
not about it's never about that.
She had a gag that I'm kind of glad went away because it did wear out its welcome a little bit, of her giving them weird fetishistic shit to put on.
Oh, yeah. Of getting the weird costumes.
And 3 of them freak out, but Mugi's like, maybe. They do back off of some jokes that wear off, like Mugi being afraid of scary movies.
Mio,
excuse me.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 big ones that I remember.
Well, yeah, and Azusa, like, being angry at the group that it's not about music anymore. They kind of tone down Yui, I think, as they go through.
Really?
She becomes less of an annoying kind of... I gotta be honest, I don't hate Yui. If she was not in the show, I'd be fine with it, because I do find her annoying. And I think I'm kind of an unpopular opinion bear there.
That's
but
okay. Well, I mean...
there's just times where I'm just like, oh my god, she makes the show drag every now and then.
It's not a podcast if you just say the popular opinion.
Yeah. And so, but I think she does add merit to the show. I don't know that I would say I think the show would be without her. I'm just saying she could be gone, and I'd probably be fine with it.
I mean, you may need a fourth to round it out because I don't think a 3 can. That's why they went from 4 to 5. I think was to give more of a.
Yeah, more people to play off of.
Yeah, very well put.
Yeah.
If I can, it wouldn't be a beautiful show if I didn't, as a fan, new fan, wow, point out the one problem that I do have with this is that this is 3 years of high school.
Yes.
And the first 2 years are covered in 12 episodes. And then the last year is covered in 24 episodes. So year 3 gets 4 times more attention than either of year 1 or 2.
And some of those episodes in the later season don't really stick.
They drag is a great
fat.
word. The biggest thing I can come up with is it's so effing hot. What do we do? That's an episode done.
Yeah, that was the entire episode, and I'm just like, what? Then they also have an episode where they clean the club room.
They clean it. They have one where like it's gonna be out of order for 2 days. What do you do?
Yeah, and so they try to find somewhere else to practice, and they do that until their club room is open up again. Like, and not every episode has to be a big character growth moment. It's just later on, with like the graduation episode, or like when this series chooses to hit hard emotional beats, it does it very, very well, which is why I compared it to Oran, because in my opinion, Oran does the same thing. Very kind of cute, fluffy, and weird, but when it wants to be real,
it will slaughter you.
It digs, and I feel like it impacts you more because of how fluffy and cute it is the rest of the time.
There are I think there's a handful of, not devastating, this is not a devastating show, but emotionally resonant is a good word for that. Ritsu thinking she has a boy crush. This is the first one that comes to mind. The other one was when they know this is their last public thing before they go off to college, the last public show. And I hate to go off on a huge tangent here, but there's a band called Electric Light Orchestra, ELO for short, and you can go find online the last song they played of the last concert they played before they broke up, and you could see the lead singer go, okay, this is our last concert, it's weird, and then later, oh, this is our last song, this is weird, and watch them hold out the last couple notes as long as they possibly can, because this is maybe the last time they're going to be together. And that's something that the last 4 episodes here have, is a really gentle undercurrent of unknown sadness.
Yeah, and it's never like overt and in your face about it. It retains the pure tone, genuine tone of the show, and it's like, well, kind of like, not that I'm a fan of this movie, but kind of like that portion in Inside Out, where you kind of accept that like those little bittersweet moments are part of life and they deserve to be cherished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last 4 episodes take on at least visually a different tone, because there are scenes that would have been a couple of, like, Yui needs to get a haircut right before the photo day, and instead of a couple quick cuts, you watch in full time as she gets her hair like braided by Mugi or something, and it's those moments that Azu knows that she's gonna miss the most when she's gone.
And the show is great at letting a moment breathe.
That is, yeah, it does become a different show, not like a show that betrays itself, but tonally and pace-wise, a much different show.
Well, I think part of the issue with those last 4 episodes is before that we get the It's Too Hot episode and the club room is out of order episode.
Oh my god. I'm like, can you please give, season 3, can you please give 6 episodes each to the first and second year?
Or just take them out.
And no, I get that, like, when you get picked up for an anime, you don't know how long it's going to last, you don't know how to allocate your time. I don't think that they knew it was going to be this huge a hit back in 2009.
Yeah.
But it is a pacing problem you are going to have to get over.
Right. Well, and mainly what I would highlight is if a bunch of girls hanging out in one room learning how to play music does not appeal to you, you're not going to have a good time.
This is going to be a hard pass for a lot of people, and that is okay.
Yes.
But the show makes it clear what you're getting into from the top, and that's something I respect a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't lie to you.
The last visual motif, and there aren't a lot of them, gets me, is halfway through season 3, in order to like bond and be friends forever, they get Japanese characters that kind of spell out K-On! Or the name of their band. and they each get to hold one letter and keep it as a keychain. And for the rest of the series, you only see Azus. You do not see any of them.
Yeah.
And that is a visual reinforcer of the fact that she thinks that she's alone and being scared that they're going to break up.
Yeah.
Which is why that last song destroyed me.
Yeah. There was a final song they sing to Azu. Like, oh no, it's okay, we're graduating, but it's going to be friends.
And it's one of the only times I actually, like, watched the lyrics, like, start to finish the first time. And it destroyed me.
Oh.
Do you want to leave people with something? Is there something you want to add?
Any final thoughts you have?
They have a pet turtle. It's adorable.
They have a pet turtle named Ton-chan. It's funny because Tone.
Oh! Sorry, I shouted that at the mic. Oh, that was really nice.
思い出なんていらないよだって今強く深く愛してるから